overall in charge, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm in charge of policy direction.
Yeah, you are in charge of the policy directions. Yes. Now, is there anything else that you would suggest to the honorable members of what you do apart from the policy directions? Is there anything else that you do?
Of course, I formulate, present, and articulate cabinet memoranda, initiation, sessional papers, and other policy issues of the ministry. I respond to questions in Parliament as provided for under Article 153 of the Constitution, and or any other function that is delegated to me by the President.
By any other functions that is delegated to you by the President. There is an institution known as the National Cereals and Produce Board. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, under you.
Yes.
And it has a managing director.
Yes.
Yes. Now, these fake fertilizers concern the National Cereals and Produce Board. Am I correct or not correct? The fake fertilizers concern which institution in the department, in the ministry?
When you look at my evidence, I want to agree. National Cereals and Produce Board is a saga within my ministry.
It is what?
A state, a semi-autonomous agency in my ministry.
Yes.
With an accounting officer.
Yes.
With MD.
Yes.
Formed by an act of parliament.
Yes.
With its responsibilities.
Yes.
The extent that I do for NCPB is to appoint members of the board to run that institution. And the MD, you are vacant.
The managing director is appointed by you.
Is appointed by the minister.
Yeah, you are the one who appoints the managing director.
By law, I'm the one supposed to appoint the manager on recommendation of the board.
Yeah, you are the one who does the appointment. Now, the fertilizers concerned the National Cereals and Produce Board. Is that correct, or am I wrong?
What do you mean by concerned?
Now, the fertilizers fell under which institution in your ministry?
The National Cereals and Produce Board is the one that advertised for purchase of fertilizer.
The National
Cereals and Produce Board, and we took you through a tender advert.
Yes.
And they procured fertilizer on behalf of government.
Yes. Now, when the issue of fake fertilizer came up, did you have a word with the managing director? Did you have a meeting with him?
Of course, when this thing happened, I had a meeting with him. I wanted to know what had gone wrong. Because the first thing I wanted to understand was whether he had actually taken my instructions, which I had given on the 20th of December, that before supply of any fertilizer by any supplier, then those suppliers should have complied with the directive of filing the chemical compensation of the fertilizers that were meant to be acquired by them, depending on what category each of them being that's one. Yes.
About how many meetings did you have with the managing director?
I do meetings with my MDs.
No, this is,
they come.
We're
they can
doing
come.
The fertilizers. I'm interested in the fertilizers.
Then the qualification should have been how many meetings to discuss fertilizer. I may not remember how many, because this is a matter that I even appeared with him in Parliament, and there's also meetings that I would call for him to brief me on the distribution schedules and the program that they had put in place so that farmers are not were not inconvenienced. So I've had a number of meetings with him.
Okay, what did he tell you had happened regarding the fake fertilizers? What did he tell you?
what the information I got from him was that, contrary to what was out there, there was an issue within a batch of around 3,000 bags, which did not comply with the agreed standards. That was the only issue.
What else did he say to you?
And that is what that is what he sent.
Yeah. Did you find that there was something that he should have done and he did not do?
Of course, looking at what I had asked him to do, and looking at the tender handbook, the specs, because the tender document was clear that complied to certain KEPS standards, and he had given out the award to the tenderers. Then it was the responsibility of the supplier really to conform to the standards and the quality that was agreed between them and Kenya Bureau, between them and National Cereals and Produce Board.
So you did not find anything wrong with him at all? He had done his job properly, is that correct?
As far as the tendering process was done, exercised his mandate as the accounting officer. There is nothing that time which I had to imagine or to believe that he had not done what he was required to do by law. And in any case, some of the fertilizers we are talking about and were being distributed to the farmers, if that information, which I highly regret, about that batch did not come to our attention, probably would not have known.
So far as you are concerned, there is nobody within your ministry who can be blamed for anything regarding the fact.
In the Ministry of Agriculture?
Nobody.
Nobody in the Ministry of Agriculture.
Nobody within the Ministry of Agriculture?
Nobody in the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development can be blamed.
Can be blamed?
Yes. That's what I believe.
That's the conclusion you came to?
That is what I believe, unless you prove me to the contrary, because just like we're trying to demonstrate, these institutions, they are semi-autonomous, they are institutions being guided by or created by law, they are institutions that have accounting officers, and wherein the application of public money must comply with the requirements of the Public Procurement and Disposal Act. And anyone who directly or indirectly has no responsibility under the law may not be blamed for it, but those people whose responsibility on procurement is vested on them, then are the people that are supposed to be answerable.
And according to you, that's why the managing director continues to work. He has not been disciplined in any way at all.
The managing director is not in office, and the board met last week. They suspended him. The board suspended him last week.
Why?
I have not yet perused the letter or the minutes of that board discussion, because it happened again when I was not around. But I think probably for them to get an opportunity to investigate and understand the circumstances surrounding this or procurement of the fertilizer that we are distributing to farmers.
Has he been suspended because of the fertilizers or not?
I'm saying, because I have not looked at the reasons advanced by the board, because generally when they meet or when they propose to make changes to the board, they are supposed to do a communication to me. The member, I think, is only tied to have communication done in writing. So, and until I have been served or have been notified of that in writing, all these other stories out there is something I will not really want to cling to. But because of our responsibility to tell the country the truth and the status of the issues as I know them, that's why I'm telling you, as we sit here this afternoon or this evening, the Managing Director of National Cereals and Produce Board is not in office.
When was he suspended?
I'm saying sometime last week.
Last week?
Yes.
And you haven't found out why he was suspended at all?
I'm telling him that, our main job of ensuring fertilizer gets the farmers. And especially at this time, we are top dressing. And especially at this time, when I want to remedy the situation of the number of the farmers that allegedly did not get the right standard fertilizer. I need to be actively involved in curing that problem, because it's a problem that we believe we can be able to cure, because like I said before, that the standards that were agreed on this fertilizer, the fertilizer that is the subject of this debate, is the 10-26-10. And because the preliminary findings about this, and this is why I have not associated myself with anyone fake, is because my scientists or my advisors and the labs, I'm told, have established that there is deficiency in the amount of nitrogen or phosphorus or potassium in the fertilizer. So when you have less nitrogen in the fertilizer, then if you are required to do 10 and you have done 8%, you are less by 2 percentage points, then makes me now start thinking, yes, we may have applied the nutrients in that fertilizer were not enough. And because they were not enough and plants have already grown, the best thing is to do is remedy the situation at the second phase, and this message you are relying to farmers to really add more fertilizer that has nitrogen during top dressing.
Let me ask another question. At the time you had these fake fertilizers, was the managing director was being suspended in office? Did he participate in the process?
The MD is the one that oversaw the procurement of the fertilizer. That responsibility is vested on him.
Yes.
To do it.
And he's the one who participated in the process.
He managed the process because the money went to NCPB, and just like we showed, we have an organizational structure that shows how NCPB is governed.
By the way, these fertilizers were to be imported, is that correct?
I think for purposes of...
the fertilizers were to be imported, is that correct?
Kenya does not produce fertilizer.
Yes.
I think it is important to let the country know. Kenya does not produce fertilizer because we do not have the necessary raw material for production of fertilizer, so most of our fertilizer is imported.
Yes. So what His Excellency William Samoei Ruto said or said about him recently is correct. Can you look at this?
Saying about who?
Just read it loudly. Could you read it loudly, please?
I think this is whatever you've found or you've downloaded this one from, and this must have happened probably today,
Yes.
which I'm not
Could
sure,
you read it loudly?
because as we sit here,
it happened today. You seem not to be aware, but I think it
I'm
happened
saying it
today.
happened today.
Yeah.
I am the Minister for Agriculture and Livestock Development. I opened this forum on the Africa Fertilizer and Soil Health
So can you
Summit,
read what you said?
and today was the presidential day for the African presidents and everybody else.
Yeah.
So-
could you read it loudly?
So, and if this is what the president said, I associate myself completely
Yeah, could you
with
read it
his
loudly?
sentiment, because he's saying Africa must work towards securing affordable, quality, and accessible fertilizers through local manufacturing. We says for us to be able to get fertilizer, we must encourage investors. We must have people producing fertilizers locally. We must bring or create incentives for the country to manufacture fertilizer. So I agree with my boss completely that this will not have even come at a better time than today, when the presidents of Africa and other participating dignitaries were at KICC when I'm here discussing the African fertilizer and soil health in our country.
Now, you have said that there is no nexus between what happened and yourself. You still maintain that is the position?
There's none at all.
Hmm?
None at all.
Yeah. Why you not the one who was responsible for, as a minister for agriculture, to make sure that we had good fertilizers, not fake fertilizers?
I think I exercised my, and I take my work very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did, or what I was trying to do when I wrote that letter, which is in my affidavit on page 367, you can see for yourself that I didn't exercise caution, even to direct that people must supply fertilizer that is of good quality. Secondly, I also want to mention there is no nexus, because you just shown me the executive order that provides my office. If you look at the affidavit, my affidavit, and especially paragraph 6, outlines the work that I'm supposed to do as a minister. When you look at the procurement law, we have clearly showed you on demonstrated where there is function of procurement, or who should bear responsibility on gaps or errors of omission or commission in regard to procurement should lie. So there is completely no nexus between me and the purchase of the fertilizer, and I do not have the capacity to direct any procuring entity or any cell within my ministry to do anything in regard to procurement.
Cabinet Secretary, the money that was going to be spent on fertilizers was colossal. 5 billion shillings. Is that correct?
No, you are wrong.
How much of it?
Let me guide you.
No, I'm asking you how much of it.
No, let me tell you.
No, I'm asking you the figure.
Don't-
I'm just interested in the figure.
I am telling you are wrong, and the correct amount of fertilizer that the amount of taxpayers' money we are spending in the year
and that is
2024
particular fake ballot.
in the budget.
The fake
We
ballot.
have only 2 months to the budget, the close of the year. We are spending around 12 billion.
12?
Yes, 12 billion.
12
Up
billion.
to 30th June, yes.
Yeah,
Yes, that's the
12
budget.
billion.
So it's not 5.
That was a lot of
That
money.
is the investment and the commitment that this government has put into money to deliver food in this country and to realize the food agenda. So it's not as little money.
Okay.
And that's how William Ruto is serious in feeding the country.
Yes. Cabinet Secretary, 12 billion shillings is a lot of money for a poor country. Is that correct?
We have to spend that. We must invest in agriculture to transform this country,
Yes.
to make, agriculture is the source of raw material for manufacturing. We must feed ourselves. We must reduce our import budgets on edible oils. This is serious. And that's why that's why government is supporting production against the consumption. I agree with you, it's not little money.
My simple question, it is a colossal sum of money, 12 billion shillings.
Depends on what the money is supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. I am still insisting. I will be appealing to this honorable house, this parliament, to earn more money to agriculture, because I don't believe it's properly funded.
But could you answer my question? In the present context, in the present circumstances, 12 billion shillings is a lot of money.
When you look at our production vis-a-vis our investment, you realize 12 million shillings compared 12 billion shillings compared to what we are producing a country has been properly spent.
Yes. Now, you as the minister in charge, you must have put up a case within government circles for this amount of money to be assigned to your ministry for fertilizer.
Yes.
You took an interest.
Yes, we want more money,
Yeah?
to come to
You
agriculture.
took an interest in this amount of money, 12 billion shillings. Did you take any steps to ensure that it was well spent?
I defend budgets in Parliament. When we get money, the responsibility or accounting responsibility is vested in the Principal Secretary. I'm not the accounting officer of the ministry.
Did you, as a man in charge, take an interest to make sure that the money was being spent?
I have a very
properly?
competent Principal Secretary, and because I have a competent Secretary and the President exercised his mind and discretion to give me officers to work with who know what their responsibilities are, and I've not had any doubt at all on the capacity of my peers to deal with the issues of accountability. I do not have any reason to doubt them. Secondly, let me also say that the ministry is audited. The Public Accounts Committee oversights our ministries. And since the oversight function is exercised by Parliament, then I think where there is a mistake or if where money is not properly spent, there could be adverse reports on change of ministry.
Let me ask you an alternative
So
question.
my money is properly
This
spent.
particular 12 billion shillings, was it well spent? The answer is either yes or no.
The 12 billion
shillings,
the
was it well
12
spent?
The year is not even over. I've even given you a budget for the year or what we even intend to spend.
Now,
So it is premature.
How much money did you spend on the fake fertilizers?
We did not
That
spend
now
any
I'm
money on
questioning.
fake
How much
fertilizer.
money did you spend?
We have not spent any money on fake fertilizer.
You did not?
No. Spent any money. We did not advertise to buy fake fertilizer. NCPB did not apply to purchase fake fertilizer.
Is it?
Yeah. Why is the I've shown you the adverts for adverts to bidders to apply to sell fertilizer to the country. There is no single line on this advert that shows we applied for sale of fake fertilizer.
I'm referring to fake fertilizers that this committee is looking into, is investigating.
I don't think this committee is looking into fake fertilizer, unless you've not understood
It's looking
what is
what?
before this committee. and I'm sorry, and respectively, say that this committee is investigating a motion presented by the member for Mula to get me out of office. Is not investigating fake fertilizer.
So can I ask, why was the member of parliament, why didn't he tender the motion for you to get you out of your cabinet secretary?
I think he knows better, because there are 3 violations of the constitution.
Is it not because you did not do your job, you did not do your job properly?
I will leave this to the committee to determine whether I did my job or not, because I think we demonstrated where the ministry was, where we have taken the ministry during my short stay as the cabinet secretary, and you can see that nobody is out in the streets with any sufuria on his hand or anybody complaining about hunger, and I think we've done quite well. It is, in my view, honestly, we've done something. The mistake that may have arisen because a crooked manufacturer, either, of course, I would not want to imagine it was willingly, because in normal manufacturing processes, errors may arise in the course of manufacturing, and there was that batch which has really created this seed, which I say I really regret as a minister, and which we've been trying to correct, cannot really be the basis of assuming a national government project that is over 99% successful. I would really not want to present a situation where we declare such a successful project or play around with it without even really understanding the effect that this has to our farmers. Because when we applied, we appealed to farmers to listen to us, and the government was going to support them with inputs and anything else that was required. These farmers listened to us, and I really respect my farmers in the country, which have even managed to register to the tune of 6.4 million within 1.5 years, and now are able to give us maize to the tune of 67 million bags in a year. And I think it's also fair also to mention the Department of Agriculture goes beyond maize. Because if we were to give our achievements in the tea sector, the last time the kind of bonus we paid to our tea farmers, because we also gave them subsidized fertilizer, the returns were enormous. I can also tell you from here, the bonus we are going to declare this year to the tea farmers will be money that has not been achieved, or targets that have not been achieved in the history of this country. So let people really take our apologies for that small error which we have tried to deal with, where we have already gotten out to really ensure that these mistakes do not arise in the future, and really accept us or give us the opportunity to really work together with every like-minded Kenyan to address the problems that confront this country. Because we have a duty to develop Kenya as responsible citizens. If we were to get the politics out of all this matter, we would have done very well, because at least a lot of farmers appreciate the good work we are doing, and that era we also regret it. And I would invite anybody else here to join this bandwagon of farmers and assist us in grow our food. Because I think if I have gone out of this country a number of times paid by the taxpayer to address conferences out there discussing the issue of food and nutritional security. It is not a very good corner to be in begging for support. We applied, we were giving licenses for people to employ, to bring food from Kenya. Some countries refused to allow imports from their countries because they were faced with hunger. So that should tell you, if we are not food sufficient as a country, the risk is huge. So let's not really take this matter so lightly. Let us, each one of us, be able to contribute towards really putting some food on the table for our country to reduce the amount of money we pay outside in bringing food commodities that we can be able to produce in Kenya.
I put it to you that you are where we are at the moment because you did not do your job properly.
I think that is laughable because honestly, from my defense, as when you look at the motion as was presented, there is nowhere that the iota of evidence has been provided to demonstrate how incapable or incompetent
I put it to you, colossal sum of money was spent, and you are aware of this amount of money, and the country did not get anything out of the money at all. Instead, we had to take fertilizer.
We played the video evidence, and you appreciate. I don't know whether you come from Western in Bugoma, farmers from Grama appreciating the fertilizer, Kericho, Washingishu, other different parts of the country.
They do what?
Appreciating the transformation.
Cabinet Secretary, I put it to you that you are lying. People are complaining that you have not done your job properly.
It's normal for
Cabinet Secretary, I put it to you, look at me in my eyes. 149 members, yeah, look at me in my face. 149 members of Parliament voted against you, that you had not done your job properly.
I don't think it's proper because the motion that was before the National Assembly was not about my competence or whether or nor was it about no confidence, but was a motion to determine whether the mover of the motion and acquired the requisite numbers required by the Constitution to form this committee to investigate this matter. So that is not the position.
Cabinet Secretary, I put it to you, there is an outcry in the whole country, particularly in the farming community, that you have been very ineffective and you should actually go back home.
That can only be an imagination in your mind.
Senior Counsel, be concluding. You have 2 minutes.
This is my learned friend, Asha, would like to say one or two things. Asha, come.
Aisha, you have 1 minute and 47 seconds.
I'll be very brief. Cabinet Secretary, check your bundle of documents, page 5. Page 5 of your bundle of documents. You stipulated the duties of a Cabinet Secretary, right? Page 5 of your bundle. Yes. It is turned to page 6. It provides the duties of a Cabinet Secretary, right? What does part E read? Kindly read for us. Part E, this one.
Appoint board members of public institutions falling under the ministry and the state departments in consultation with the Executive Office of the President in accordance with their respective enabling statutes.
Thank you very much. So according to what you've written there, you're responsible for the appointment. Kindly go to the bundle of, there is a Food and Fertilizers Act to the bundle that we filed. I don't know if you have it. I might give it to you.
It was not anywhere in part of the reasons for this motion.
Yes,
So
but I'm just asking because it is part of your responsibility. Have you ever come across?
Show me where is it?
Appointing board members of public institutions. Whose mandate is it? That's the question I just want to ask.
I appoint members of the board.
Thank you.
Council, your time is up. Thank you.
Thank you. He's answered what I wanted.
Madam Chair, if I may
Yes,
ask,
Honorable
I may
Wamboka.
plead on behalf of my council. Could you add 5 minutes to conclude her?
Honorable Wamboka, we will not be able to do that because we have a lot to finish before the end of the day. Thank you.
Just 5 minutes. She was on that point. What she wants to raise is just on that point. Nothing.
Consult with your council, please.
Honorable Chair, we have no questions to the witness in re-exam.
Honorable Wamboka, have you consulted? Because I was receiving different signals.
We may proceed.
Let us proceed to re-examining.
And Honorable Chair, we are happy to confirm we have no questions in re-exam.
Thank you so much. May I now allow the members for any members of this committee, if you have any clarification, any input, we can now do it. Honorable TJ.
Bwana Minister, just a few clarifications. Perhaps where the council left.
Bwana CS, we will, sorry, Honorable TJ. Bwana CS, we will do 3 questions or, 3 members. And we agreed 2, which equals 2 minutes. Let us stick to that, please. And then the minister will respond. Then we will call on others.
Chair, could you give me three questions in a row?
Allowed.
Thank you. 3 questions. One on the area of fertilizers and animal foodstuffs. I need this to be clear. People have talked about it to and fro. I think it is fair that you need to have an opportunity to speak about it clearly so that it is disposed. Could you show the minister, that young counsel, you can come back. Could you show the minister the fertilizer and animal foodstuffs, if you have? I think if you have it. No, I'm sure he can show you quickly so that it don't take time. Yeah, so quickly, yeah, so this is one area of the questions on fertilizer and animal foodstuffs. CS, you can see that this act, although it's revised in 2022, but the amendments are 2015. The amendments, if you just see under the recital of the act, date of commencement, then the recital, you can see that these amendments, the 2A, 2B, 2C, and all those, are as a result of Act number 20, 2015. Right? Meaning that they have been in force since 2015. And you considered, I think, if I listened to what you responded, that this board has not been constituted, but it is work in progress. I want to understand that close to 9 years, this is work in progress. Close to 9 years. This is work in progress. And as you are going to answer that, again on the same act, you can see that the functions of the board that is 2B, and is 2B, functions on the board, blah, blah, promote collaboration of stakeholders in the agriculture industry. Right. Okay, just a minute. Advise the national government and county government on procurement, establishment, and development of policies related to fertilizer. I'm just trying to see, there is a point in which it says that it is talking about the distribution of subsidized fertilizer very directly. Do you confirm that if this was effectively operationalized, if this act for 9 years was effectively operationalized, then this would be the correct procedure to follow, either in procurement, distribution, or anything else around fertilizer subsidy, just in case it was operationalized for 9 years. Is that correct?
I think, Chair, that the board would have taken over the function of acquisition or purchase of fertilizer.
Why don't you think so?
Because in the current setup, or the way we've been procuring fertilizer, has been through through the NCPB.
Would you please look at 2BA?
But 2BA. What I'm saying is that if, and I said, and I want to admit, because this is something I mentioned, because we cannot argue over what the functions of the board are as provided by the law, and we must deal with the law as is. Is for the committee to appreciate why the board has not been formed and at what stage we are in the process of implementation.
Yes, I understand that it is work in progress.
Of the Act.
I understand that it is work in progress, and I appreciate. I respect that. But all I'm asking, if you look at 2BA, to regulate the fertilizers and animal foodstuffs industry in Kenya, including the production, manufacture, packaging, importation, marketing of fertilizer and animal foodstuffs. Why would you think that if this act was not operationalized, in the course of 9 years that this act has been available, that it would then take the issue of manufacture, production, procurement, distribution, and everything else concerning the subsidized fertilizer?
You see, the business of fertilizer production, just like I have said, is business that we've not, or companies have not set up in Kenya. With the broad mandate of the company, of the board, probably we would get value by the board trying to really participate in the licensing of people that are participating in fertilizer business.
All right, thank you.
Either stockists
that's okay.
or importers.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that those people that are bringing in fertilizer are not licensed, or fertilizer of bad quality come in. And Chair, please, if you may allow me, remind the member that this law has been there. We've been trying to implement other sections of different laws in the ministry. When I said it's work in progress, is because we've already, those discussions have commenced. A task force report has been prepared. It has proposed the organizational structure of this board. And don't also forget, we are currently, because it's a new administration, Mheshimiwa, that we are faced with serious financial challenges, and our position as government is even to collapse some of the sagas of the institutions so that we can have a lean, effective government and see how we can save money and be able to apply in development. This has really gotten us back, but the process has commenced. It's an advanced stage. Probably we have already asked the Director Crops and Director Agriculture, Crops Development, Director Veterinary Services, in the meantime, to assume the responsibilities and make sure that this is happening. That's why you find even in the PS, did appoint a committee, a fertilizer committee, to check on these things.
Well done. Well explained.
We are trying to do our best.
Well explained, CS. But just attached to it, could you please help CS to see the Cereals Board Act? The Cereals Board Act, I think it is also part of...
Point of order, Chair. Chair, point of order.
Yes. Yes, Mayor.
Thank you, Chair. I think as we are starting this session, you had given direction that there will be 3 questions, 2 minutes. He asked for 3 minutes, but I don't know whether that order was at one time vacated or we are still within the 3 minutes. Thank you.
I think I will ignore that. Now, look at
Honorable
Cereals.
Honorable Kajwang, you cannot ignore that.
But Chair, everybody sees I'm struggling, and the CS is explaining, which is his right to explain and to take as much time as he wants, because it is his right to explain. My question took less than 5 seconds, but yes, he's entitled to explain even in 20 minutes if he wants.
But
I can't control the explanation.
Remember, we agreed that we will ask 2 questions. You asked for 3, and I said okay, and we will allow 3 members to ask so that the CS can respond. Kindly let us go back to that, and then we proceed. Honorable,
I'm doing. That is exactly what I'm doing. You see, no, Chair. Look, everybody knows in this room that I'm asked a small question, but the CS, in his own wisdom, and he has the right to do so, can answer as long as he takes. That doesn't shorten my time. But anyway, let me go to the second one. And look, CS, I'm just trying to understand a few issues. Would you please assist him in seeing the produce, the NCPB Act?
Which page of the
specifically the functions. The functions. You find it in the bundle prepared by the Secretariat.
On a point of order, you now have a lot of respect to Honorable PJ Katuwa. You know, when we say ask questions, you don't cross-examine the witness. Ask the questions, then allow another member to ask the question, another member, then the minister or the CS then responds to the questions. I thought that is the direction we've been taking in all the cases. You know, it's unfair for TJ to dismiss Honorable Tangaza. I ordinarily don't speak, but you know, when I know what are my rights, it is not right.
The National Cereals and Produce Board is on page 429 to 443, the bundle prepared by the Secretariat. You got it? Volume 4. Page 429, 429. 429. Yes, you've seen it, and the function, the powers of the functions are on section 4. All right. CS, I just want you to see the entire section of 4. It is 1 and 2.
And because this is not the beginning, this body has been there, and I believe...
Thank you, Chair. I mean, CS, that's okay. If you find it later on, you can let me know. If in the process you find an authority for NCPB to let me know, your lawyers could be helping you. Now, Chair, the last question is this. Your lawyer, your counsel led you to the issue of Davesh Kells chemicals. You remember that charge sheet which your advocate brought to your attention? No, there is a charge sheet which your advocate talked about. You remember that?
That is.
That's so?
It is not true.
No.
My advocate did not make reference to any charge sheet related to Davesh. He made reference to a charge sheet that on account of a case of fraud.
No.
Yeah.
The charge sheet which is just a few days old.
No, it's for Naomi.
No, not that one.
It's the one. He did not make reference to any other. I don't remember.
I think council help him to see that charge sheet around. Yeah, that one. Forget about this other one. Yeah, that charge sheet. Yeah. And my notes are saying that I am not aware of anything which would hinder Davesh from coming to testify. Now, I need to understand there is an allegation which is made on the petition, on the motion, to the extent that the minister may or may have not used his powers by closing the factory and so on, and then that the minister may or may have not caused a press conference. Is it true that you asked or you called Davesh to a press conference, which when he did not appear, then you exercised ministerial powers to arbitrarily close his factory?
Chairman, I want to be understood. And since this, I will make a comment on this because it's in my bundle. But it must go on record that my lawyer did not make reference to this document. But for whatever word it is, I want to say that I only about the claim of people being coerced to make statements in the media and in the letter that was attached by the mover of the motion from the letter from the farm of Abdullahi. I am aware that the charge sheet that is in this document is a proof that when the agreed standard of fertilizer that was meant to be procured by NCPB fell short of the standard that was required, and we ordered for investigations, and of course we respect independent institutions. Then after the investigations, the office of DCI, with of course the recommendations from the NCPB, directed that this gentleman be charged with the offenses that are mentioned here. I'm giving this information because I think I've undertaken also to make full disclosure of what has happened, but that does not shift the burden of proof to my hand, because whoever is alleging has that responsibility.
He was arrested and arraigned for plea when Parliament had already expressed or already voted on a motion to select this committee. Is that correct?
I don't know.
No. You can check from the charge sheet, the date of the charge sheet. It is there. The date of arrest is in that document. The date of arraignment is in that document. I think it is 6th. Date of apprehension is in that document.
I think this is not true, but if I also may refer to this, you realize the date of commission of offense is not on 6th. So the fact that the Parliament is debating the matter cannot stop an investigating agency from doing or carrying out its mandate on account of what is happening in Parliament. So that is probably what I would want to say for now.
Okay. Honorable Manyo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Chair. Yeah, I was going through this bundle and I saw on paragraph 28 of the affidavit by the CS where he acknowledges different committees. Can I wait for you or I continue as you? Paragraph 28, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you acknowledge different committees in the procurement process. I just wanted to know what is the legal basis of the letter dated on 20th on page 367 or
Put me to spin to understand which part of my affidavit you are referring to.
It's on paragraph 28.
Which page?
I think your counsel will help.
No, you are the one that's making reference respectively to that particular part of my submission. And what I am reading or finding here is different.
Okay. So I hope I'll have more minutes to help out. Paragraph 28.
Well, I give you time to prepare yourself and
I'm okay.
no, just I'll give you time.
Thank you.
I'll give you time. Just prepare yourself and then I'll come back to you. Honorable Malulu. Members ask 2 questions and the CS will respond after 3 honorable members will raise their questions.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll raise only one question. We have a number of letters that were done by the PS. Your PS Rono. I just want to confirm if you are aware of these letters and informed of the content. Some of them do not bear your signature. Page 62. Page 262 on volume 2. I don't know if that's what you have. Yeah. Yeah. So we have preparations for the 2024 long range. Though it does not bear your signature, at least what I have. Are you aware of those letters? There are about 6 of them.
I'm aware, Chair, that...
and informed of the content.
Yes, I'm aware that the PS, in the performance of its accounting function...
not for you to explain. You are aware and informed of the content and you have no problem.
Yes, this letter, which is not signed, of course, I take cognizance of the fact that even if it doesn't have the signature, at least the first page, I'm aware that 8.5 billion for purchase of fertilizer was provided for and they required to buy.
All of them?
No, let's go letter by letter.
Okay.
The letter for 1st December, I'm not aware about this one. Because you can even see it is not copied to me. So I'm not aware about this letter.
Okay. So, do you agree with it, or
do
you agree with what you say as you are? Yes. The one for 1st of December 23.
Whether I agree or not?
Yeah, because it's your PS.
I am not comfortable with this letter, Chair, because it's not verifiable and it's not copied to me. If probably I'd seen it earlier, maybe I would have thought different.
Okay. So, thank you.
Honorable Yusuf. Honorable CS.
Yes, sir.
I want to refer you to a bundle 361, page 361.
361.
There is an agreement dated at 1st March 2022.
Yes.
And you have confirmed to this committee that there is no word fertilizer in this agreement.
Yes, I've not seen anywhere.
Can you see the, number 9 indemnity and read for us for the committee, please?
Number
9 indemnity, page 364.
The principal agrees to indemnify the agent and keep indemnified against all third-party action claims which may be suffered or incurred by the buyer arising from the quality of the fertilizer supplied to the agent by the principal under this contract, including matters touching on intellectual property, blah, blah, blah.
Number 2, my other question. You have submitted a budget on June 2024, 2023, for total of bills.
After finalizing the investigations, found that this gentleman under case to answer, and because of that failure to exercise serious diligence on this particular matter, the MD, the legal officer, the procurement officer became a victim of this investigation, and they are facing various charges before courts of law, and that is the maximum I would have done as a cabinet secretary.
Lastly, in the same letter or the agreement, when you appeared in one of the allegations of the Honorable Wamboka, I don't know which page, he claimed that you have made an allegation that what 51 capital was to supply was soil moisturizer, I don't know, something like that. The question is there any word of soil moisturizer in that agreement or soil condition?
I send and get advice from my officers, and there is likelihood of being to believe or to take advice, and especially on an area that should not really will not claim to be very much technically qualified in to take that advice. So whatever items are listed under page 362, and especially paragraph, if I may use the one paragraph 13, the items that were allowed, and from the explanation I got, these were supposed to have been soil conditioners. So I did not lie. You mislead me as a cabinet secretary, and I realize there is an error. I take administrative action and disciplinary action against the officer. So I have done exactly that, and that's why these people are not in office. That is why this flower, I think, is now in industry.
So you accept you have been misled by your junior officers on this?
You know, to the extent that they advised that this was a soil conditioner, and the fact that whatever this 51 capital provided for access to farmers within our infrastructure is not what was agreed in this agreement, I would say I was misled by them. And when we realized this is what they did, that is why we've taken serious drastic action, and I'm happy. You have also referred me to clause 9 of this agreement, which talks about indemnity. So we have a case that we can be able to really use we can apply paragraph 9 to really seek compensation for the farmers that may have accessed this material.
Honorable Manyo, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. I got that paragraph 28 is on page 16 of 386.
Yes. It's page 16.
In your own bundle, volume 3, where you've acknowledged. Let me just read the first sentence. To the best of my knowledge, CSS have little to no role in matters relating to public procurement decisions and processes. This can be confirmed by the framework for the segregation of responsibilities and systematic and structured corporate decision making established, blah, blah, blah. It's very long. But I just was drawn to little or no role in matters relating to public procurement decisions and processes. Then that makes me now ask my question. If you turn to page 367 of 386, I just want to know if it is you who wrote this letter and if that signature is yours.
Yeah, I'm the author of the letter because this is advisory.
That was 20th December 2023. Thank you. Now.